আপনারা দেখছেন SR24x7 নিউজ।
স্নায়ুতন্ত্রের গঠন এবং কার্যকারিতা, যার মধ্যে রয়েছে মস্তিষ্ক, মেরুদণ্ড ও পেরিফেরাল স্নায়ু। এটি ট্রমা, রোগ বা বাধ্যজনিক কারণে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত নিউরাল স্ট্রাকচার এবং ফাংশনগুলি মেরামত, প্রতিস্থাপন এবং পুনরুত্থিত করার বিষয়ে অ্যাপোলো চেন্নাই হাসপাতালের নিউরো স্পেশালিস্ট চিকিৎসক ঋষিকেশ সরকার নিউরোসার্জারি চিকিৎসার বিষয়ে রবিবার সাংবাদিক বৈঠককে বিস্তারিত তুলে ধরলেন।
To the skin over here, and there are blood vessels in the skin itself. Sometimes we make an opening over here, maybe about 4 centimeters, and utilize the blood vessels of the skin and mobilize that and connect that into the brain. So that also is possibility. So it is not always necessary that we use only a small approach. It may be little required larger, but in the long run it is useful.
Restorative neurosurgery, does this take huge time to recover, or it can be also done?
Yeah, the recovery process for neurorestoration takes time, because brain injury is such that the healing of the brain, initially it was thought that the healing does not occur at all, but now we know it does. But it happens at a very, very slow process, gradual process. So on an average, it takes about, let's say, depending on the injury, let's say for spinal cord injury patient, it may take about 8 to 9 months before which a patient would see a significant improvement in terms of in terms of walking and standing with support and everything. But there are few things which happen much earlier. For example, if some patient is lying down completely not able to walk, so their blood pressure, they have a lot of blood pressure disturbances, and they don't tolerate even sitting for some time. So immediate effect which we see is the blood pressure maintenance becomes good. They can turn in the bed more rapidly and aggressively. They can change their position much aggressively. So these are the initial changes which we see, which is earlier than standing, taking few steps and all that. To see
any part of the body.
Sorry.
This therapy can be used in any part of the body.
Any part of the body which is affected by neurological dysfunction. Any part, for example, and usually neurological dysfunction due to hands, legs. Now in the West, people are trying to do for the speech and language also. For they're placing in a device, small chip. You have heard of Elon Musk? Elon. So Elon Musk is working on a chip which is placed on the brain, and it will capture the EEG signals which will be corresponding to your thought. For example, I want to pick up this mic. My hands are paralyzed, my legs are paralyzed, but I have a thought that I want to pick up this mic. So this will be captured by this device, EEG device, specialized EEG device, and this will be connected to my arm over here. Okay. So when I think, this device will stimulate my hand and I will do this job.
He has any problem?
Sorry?
He has any problem? Elon Musk?
He does not have, but he is funding the project in this concept. And that's everything. The technology which I said, the chip and the brain, and using it to mimic an activity, just thought based, just by thought moving objects from A to B, which is like a magic. Not in his mind. They are working on the monkeys right now, and which they have shown very, very good results. And that can be not. And I'm not talking about monkeys actually. And there are other research groups in Europe and America, in Japan. They've already utilized this technology in those patients who are completely weak in hands and legs and everything, they can't move, to switch on and off light bulb, to write their names via the keyboard on the computer. So all this is happening, but all those are all not commercial entity available right now, because first of all, it takes a lot of time and effort. As he asked correctly, what is the recovery time? So in each of these patients, you need to do at least 500, 600 times training again and again and again and again, with so much of failures will be there. Only at the end of it, you see the little bit of movement here and there. So, but we are reaching there. It is offering us hope from where we don't have anything right now. That is
This chip-based process, this neurosurgery which you are talking about, does this involve AI or machine learning or this?
No, the current system which is available for us does not involve AI at this moment of time, commercial systems. But there are experimental systems which are there, like the mentioned I just mentioned to you, that definitely involves AI. And how does it involve AI? Because I want you to imagine signals in the brain like a big ocean, like you have an ocean of, let's say, Pacific Ocean. Now only one particular thought, that moving this object from point A to point B, it's like finding maybe 1 liter of oil in that ocean, Pacific Ocean. You can imagine that kind of vastness which is required for the computer algorithms to detect those signals. So how would we do that? And that's where the AI is helping us, because AI is a self-learning technology, so it learns again and again, and you can multiply into million times also. So this AI is now helping us to identify those brain signals which are important to generate thought-based movement. Thought-based movement, where I think that this object has to move from point A to point B, it will do it with the help of an external implant or something like that.
This chip is exactly the chip that is used in the development. And how he uses it?
He first use it. He made a company called as Grants and Trials. Idea is to hack your thoughts. You are controlling your mobile phones right now with scrolling, right? Scrolling. The scrolling will disappear. Everything will do with your mind.
Sorry, you have whipped out Monoa disease.
The genetic disease, yes. But how is the association, the genetic association is there with an individual, that remains to be investigated.
You said it's a very costly surgery. How costly?
The for which one out of these you are talking about?
Out of three.
All the three? Okay, let me go through each of them. The keyhole approach or standard whatever eyelid surgery is same. We do not charge anything additional. In fact, whatever the standard conventional charges are there. Secondly,
And it is only done at the...
we do it because we have developed the approach. In fact, I have published a YouTube video also because I want this information to be spread. I really don't want to keep it with myself. And because I see there is distinct advantages where you don't have to do any major things over there. You don't have to go through the nose. The majority of the tumors located in this part of the head or the skull base can be taken care of very easily.
This has been developed by you.
Yes. I worked with the ophthalmologist and together we created this approach. Yes.
He is a colorectal department HOD. So colorectal is basically piles fistula renal tumor that's deal with that. So I'll just call upon him also. We'll come back.
Healthy lifestyle, exercising every day, an hour a day is recommended. Eating healthy, less red meat, more vegetables, drinking at least 3 liters of water. Stopping smoking, definitely. Alcohol should be avoided or reduced. Vegetables is very important, and having a healthy lifestyle on the whole is very important. Now, there are certain conditions which predispose to colorectal cancer. One is ulcerative colitis, which is an inflammation of the colon. If you have it for 10 years, at high risk. If you have family history of colorectal cancer, so suppose someone's diagnosed with colon cancer or colorectal cancer, their siblings should be screened. If someone has colorectal cancer, their children should be screened. So all these are risk factor groups and they need to be aware of that. So who develops it? One, as I said, if you have ulcerative colitis, you will, with age, because we're all living longer, you will see some changes. Cells will go abnormal changes. So they will develop into polyps, and this initially are precancerous. So if you're at that stage, if you go screen them and find the polyps, you can completely remove them, preventing cancer. If you don't get screened or don't remove them, over a period of time, usually 10 years, these will turn into cancer.